Doom: The Dark Ages was revealed 2 weeks ago and has been received well by the community, with an overwhelming amount of excitement from everyone, myself included. With the story of Doom: The Dark Ages taking place hundreds or possibly thousands of years prior to the stories of Doom 2016 and Eternal, combat has been reworked to accommodate for this change in setting. In the reveal trailer, we see the Doomslayer armed with the usual arsenal expected from a Doom game, as well as spiked gauntlets, a flail, and the brand new shield saw. The last three weapons have really piqued curiosity from players, as the Slayer has never been one to back down from a battle, let alone use a shield or shy away from using his bare hands to deal the killing blow to a demon. In this video, I will be theorizing on the combat featured in Doom: The Dark Ages and make some educated guesses as to what we might see in the game. Starting with the Slayer's armor, the Praetor suit has been completely redesigned. Whatever Sentinel armorer crafted this for him has made every angle of the Slayer a weapon. From the spiked helmet all the way down to the spiked shin and knee guards, if the Slayer wants to tear off chunks of demon flesh, he can do it with little effort. Next up is his flail, which we can see being used in a variety of ways. From knocking a demon off of its mount to stunning larger foes, the power of the Slayer's swing is not to be underestimated. Personally, I am shocked we didn't see chunks of flesh being torn from the larger demon who was getting pummeled with the flail in the trailer. Finally, we have the biggest talking point of the reveal, and that is the shield saw. This piece of equipment is shown being thrown and returning to the Slayer Captain America style. From knocking a revenant out of the air to being used to carve through hordes of fodder demons, it is also shown blocking a volley of shots from an Arachnotron. All of these new tools are incredibly exciting, but how will they change the gameplay we've come to know and love from previous titles? Before diving deeper into what was shown off, I want to first mention that game director Hugo Martin had mentioned in the No Clip podcast during Doom Eternal's PR tour that he is a huge fan of Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
Apex, I mean, those are skill-based games and they have pretty good audiences, so it's kind of a safe bet.
Where the difficulty spectrum is so wide though as well. We talked at E3 about Bloodborne. I'm a big fan of Bloodborne. You're a fan of Bloodborne. Have you played Sekiro, for instance?
Sekiro is one of my favorite games.
It is.
With this information, it is easy to assume that he has been playing his fair share of Elden Ring and has played other From Software titles. Personally, I feel like Hugo has taken huge inspiration from these games' melee combat systems and is now integrating it into the Doom franchise in a way that promotes the push-forward combat system the series has been known for. Now, I'm not expecting to see Stamina Bar in a Doom game again, looking at you, Doom 3, but I am expecting the Slayer will have a limited amount of hits he can block with the shield before faltering as punishment for relying on it. During combat, we should assume that the shield should be used sparingly to give the player a moment to breathe while looking for openings and ways to disable heavy demons. Over-reliance on the shield blocking hits could lead to a scenario where one would be trying to bait a Hell Knight into doing his parryable attack as shown in the trailer, but being unable to as the shield could only take so many hits before the Slayer falters into a vulnerable state. Now, I'd like to take a look at the flail. As stated earlier, the flail has a variety of uses to stun or disable enemies, knocking the rider off of the demonic mount, or stunning the large demon shown in the reveal trailer. While it may seem like a pretty basic attack that could take the place of a punch bound to the E key, I think it will be a piece of equipment that is bound to left control, the R key, or the G key. Granted, there is no grenade or other equipment that might use these inputs. With how powerful it is, being able to stun heavy and super heavy demons, I can see the flail being used as an aggressive response to enemies who are unable to be parried, or ones that may need to be disabled in certain ways before going in for the kill. I can see combat scenarios playing out where an Arachnotron is firing on you non-stop. With your shield up, you push forward until you are able to bash into it, falter it, and then disable its turret with the flail, and then finally retreating to finish it off with the super shotgun. Scenarios such as this seem likely, as Hugo also stated in the No Clip podcast, and many other times, that he and the team at id Software have the goal of making a game that pushes you into playing a certain way to achieve being in the fun zone, as he puts it. In a recent interview with IGN, Hugo said that the shield and flail will work together to cause all sorts of destruction and violence. This has me thinking about the hot topic that is the future of the glory kill and its role in Doom the Dark Ages. Hugo was asked about glory kills in the same interview, and when asked to put a rough number on the amount present in the game, he simply responded by saying that we can approach demons in a variety of ways.
I don't know can you throw like a number at me of how many like we're working with for the dark? Is it like in the hundreds?
The melee system really introduces a whole new dynamic where you could approach enemies kind of any way you want. And we've I don't want to talk too much about that yet. We still got a ways to go, but I think fans will be really pleased with the amount of freedom that you give you on how you finish off the demons this time.
The idea that we can approach enemies any way we want to has me thinking that the basic function of glory killing for health and using a chainsaw for ammo is no more. Instead, we will be able to pick and choose our finishing move and in return acquire different resources. For example, I think that an enemy will be required to be flashing blue and orange to have one of 3 finishers performed, granting one of 3 resources. Finishing a demon with the shield saw will obviously grant ammo in return, whereas finishing a demon with the flail may grant some sort of charge to a powered melee attack such as the blood punch. And lastly, using your hands for a standard glory kill would grant health, as always. In my opinion, this would add a layer of depth previously unseen in the Doom games, as we have always had the freedom to use the chainsaw and glory kills independently from each other. Personally, I like this idea of limiting being able to do these actions separate from each other and requiring a demon to be in the glory kill state before you are able to decide what is needed more, health, ammo, or other resources. Whether or not any of this speculation comes true, I am still extremely excited for Doom the Dark Ages and have full faith in id Software and Hugo Martin to continue to improve and innovate on this franchise. Hugo is an extremely motivated man with a clear goal in mind on how he wants his games to play and look. I have no doubt in my mind that he and his team will factor melee combat into the Doom franchise flawlessly and make it one of the most fun things we've ever experienced. QuakeCon comes in August, and with that we are pretty much guaranteed to see more Dark Ages gameplay and get some nice keynotes from Hugo and Marty Stratton. Until then, these are just my thoughts, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd like to give a quick shout out to Dark Outrage, Flailhead Gaming, and the Bean Sprout for giving me the inspiration to make this video, as well as the larger Doom YouTubers under the Mayo, Rip and Tear Gaming, and Horde Mode Gaming. Without any of these people, I probably wouldn't be making this video or trying to get my channel up among their ranks. Hopefully I will be able to pump out more content like this as we get development updates on Doom the Dark Ages, but until then, you can expect me to give insights on Doom Eternal and post gameplay videos, as well as the occasional live stream on YouTube or Twitch. Thank you for watching my first scripted video. Please remember to like and subscribe for similar content, and discuss amongst yourselves and with me in the comments section on how you think Doom Eternal's melee combat will play out. Until then, I will see you next time.